Winter has arrived in parts of southern Ontario as some regions are expecting up to 20 centimeters of snow. The snow squalls are making driving conditions difficult with strong winds of up to 80 kilometers per hour and dropping temperatures also forecasted throughout the day. Drivers should expect slower commuting times with road conditions deteriorating and hazardous travel conditions leading to near zero visibility at times of heavy snow. With me now to discuss is David Phillips, climatologist with Environment and Climate Change Canada. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you, Lauren, for having me. Yeah, this is another kind of part of this American Thanksgiving Day storm that we saw last Thursday and Friday, and brought lots of snow to the kind of the snow belt area of Ontario. Actually, even more so Kitchener had about 35 centimeters of snow. So it brought a good amount of snow, kind of the first test of the winter. So this is kind of the end of it. This is, but it's going to be more widespread. It's going to affect areas from Windsor to Ottawa and into parts of Quebec. Not, as you say, not a lot of snow, maybe 20 centimeters up in the lake effect snow country, but for most parts of Ontario away from the Great Lakes, we'll see maybe 2, 5, 10 centimeters of snow, and some strong winds will help to blow that snow. Winds particularly strong around the edge of, or the shore of Lake Erie and in Lake Ontario. So that's an issue, but it's going to be sort of here today and gone tomorrow, and into parts of eastern Ontario and Quebec might see some snow, a little bit of rain. And I say rain because the temperatures are going to be actually close to a little bit above the freezing mark in some areas, so we could see that transition. We've already seen it in Toronto from snow to drizzle to a little bit of rain before the mild air gets away and we get into the cold air.
Is it unusual to see such a heavy snowfall before December?
You know, it isn't. I remind you, a year ago, I remember it. It was on the same day in places in Muskoka got 140 centimeters of snow. I mean, that was 3 weeks before the first official day of winter. So having this storm just like the end of this week and into today is really not unusual. It's tough because you're not used to it. You know, we came out of a fall that was generally warmer than normal, so it's sort of like a slap in the face to get the cooler air. But people had just got going with, well, where's my snow shovel and where are my polar fleece garments? And they just really hadn't kind of transition to the kind of winter season. They were still hoping for fall to carry on. So it's a little bit of a tough thing. And I think particularly for places in the prairies, for example, I mean, I think of Winnipeg. I mean, last Sunday, Lauren, they had a temperature of 10 degrees. I mean, this was the warmest moment at the end of November they've ever had in 150 years. And 2 days from now, they might see a temperature that's about 27 degrees colder than what they had last Sunday. And that's all within 10 days. So, yeah, it's even for hardy Canadians, this kind of transition from something that seemed balmy to something that seemed Arctic is, a little tough to take.
Is this a sign of things to come? What are we likely to see in terms of snowfall this season?
Well, I think, Lauren, what it tells me is that it looks like the tough part of winter may be the beginning. I mean, we're seeing our models are showing for December. Hey, a good chunk of Canada, millions of Canadians are going to have to put up with a colder than normal December. And of course, when you have colder than normal, Lauren, your precipitation is going to be the white stuff and not the liquid stuff. So, I mean, I would never say, you could never guarantee a white Christmas in Ontario before the December has even begun. But boy, I think it's going to be pretty close. I don't see a melting temperature in Toronto, for example, for the next 2 weeks. And any precipitation that falls after today will be the white stuff. And that's clearly the case for other parts of Ontario and Quebec and also Manitoba. So my sense is, you know, hard to know what the entire winter's going to be like. But I think at the front end, it's going to feel like really winter has begin to bite deep and hard. In fact, there's a hint that the second half of winter may not be as tough as the first half. So, hey, nature's sort of not just even giving us a little teaser. It's saying right into it, into the deep freeze right away. So we've had to adjust very quickly. But hey, we are Canadians. We are a winter people, and so we can probably do it, not to our liking, but certainly. But I think the good thing about that, Lauren, is the fact that people who kind of hope to ski and snowmobile between Christmas and New Year's, and that's where all the money is made in resorts, hey, they probably have a good chance, unlike recent years.
Okay, thank you so much, David, and I hope you stay warm. That is David Phillips, climatologist with Environment and Climate Change Canada.